The Veirathi command deck was burning when Admiral Shavrin finally understood the warning. Humanity was not a species. Humanity was a weapon that had learned how to breathe. Outside the shattered observation glass, 30 miles of alien warships drifted in pieces across the dark side of Jupiter. The Empire's finest dreadnoughts had come to erase Earth before sunrise. They had expected panic. They had expected begging. Instead, they found silence, black oceans, cold cities, and one human battleship rising from the shadow of the moon, like something buried there by a dead god. The ship was ugly by galactic standards. No crystal hull, no graceful energy sails, no living silver armor. Just dark iron plating, magnetic scars, missile wounds, and a name burned across its side in white letters. USS Havoc. Captain Mara Voss stood on its bridge with blood on her temple and frost crawling across the inside of the glass. Her crew had lost oxygen in 2 decks, gravity in 4, and 87 souls in the first attack, yet no one asked to retreat. The Veirathi fired again. A beam hot enough to split continents slammed into the Havoc's bow. The human ship did not dodge. It pushed forward. Admiral Shavrin watched the impossible reading appear on his tactical screen. The human vessel was accelerating into the beam. Then the humans opened every forward gun at once. For 7,000 years, the galaxy had followed one rule. Advanced civilization survived by avoiding pain. Shields replaced armor. Drones replaced soldiers. Diplomacy replaced courage. The Veirathi Empire mastered that rule better than anyone. Their ships were fast, clean, mathematical, and beautiful. Their commanders believed war was won before blood was spilled. Humans broke that rule the moment they entered space. They built ships too heavy to be elegant. They trained soldiers to fight after injury. They tested engines by pushing them past safe limits. They measured victory not by survival probability, but by how much ground they could hold after everything went wrong. The Empire studied Earth and laughed. One blue planet, primitive cities, divided nations, chemical rockets still sitting in museums like sacred bones. Humans had no planetary shield, no jump lattice, no gravitic choir, no plasma veil. They had steel. They had stubbornness. They had graves filled with people who once stood between danger and home. Admiral Shavrin called them emotionally unstable mammals with poor evolutionary discipline. His analysts called them strategically insignificant. Only one captured report disagreed. It said humans showed a rare neurological pattern under extreme stress. Fear did not always slow them. Loss did not always break them. Pain did not always weaken them. Sometimes it made them faster. Shavrin deleted the report unread. 4 hours later, the Veirathi invasion fleet crossed Mars' orbit, and something older than fear woke beneath Earth's oceans. The Veirathi did not come alone. Behind their invasion fleet moved the Starbreaker, a planet-killer siege engine wider than Manhattan and longer than 80 miles. It carried a gravity lance that had cracked the moon of Tarsus in half and boiled the oceans of Rena Prime in 1 hour. Its arrival changed every calculation. On the Havoc, red numbers filled every screen. Enemy mass exceeded human fleet strength by 3,000%. Shield penetration chance was 0. Survival chance was 0. Earth evacuation chance was 0. The crew knew the math. They also knew math had never buried a child, kissed a spouse goodbye, or watched a home burn from orbit. Captain Voss looked at the blue curve of Earth below them. Every city was dark now, not from defeat, but from silence discipline. Humanity had shut down its lights so the planet would not look afraid. The Starbreaker charged its lance. On the Veirathi command deck, Admiral Shavrin ordered Earth's surrender broadcast across every frequency. His voice promised mercy if humanity gave up its weapons, its fleets, and its right to leave its own star system. Earth answered with one transmission. It was not a speech. It was a heartbeat. Every human ship, satellite, submarine launch tube, mountain, bunker, and lunar rail cannon synchronized to that rhythm. Then the Havoc turned away from Earth and aimed itself directly at the Starbreaker. Admiral Shavrin thought the maneuver was suicide. His officers thought it was panic. The human captain knew it was neither. The Havoc had not been built as a battleship. It had been built as a promise. After first contact, when humanity realized the galaxy respected only power, engineers from Ni Every nation worked under the moon's far side for 11 years. They stripped asteroid cores, forged armor plates thicker than houses, and buried engines inside shock cages because they expected those engines to explode. The galaxy built ships to avoid damage. Humans built the Havoc to keep fighting after damage. Became certain. As the Starbreaker fired, Captain Voss ordered all power into forward armor and magnetic compression. The lance hit like a sunrise made of knives. 400 feet of armor melted from the bow. Men and women died behind sealed doors without screaming into the comms. Deck chiefs kept rerouting power with burned hands. Marines welded fractured bulkheads while the ship shook like a dying animal. The Veirathi waited for the human ship to break. It did not. The Havoc crossed 100 miles closer, then 50, then 10. Shavrin finally saw the truth. The humans were not trying to survive. The lance. They were using it to hide their railgun charge. At point-blank range, the Havoc's main cannon began to glow. The first tungsten round struck the Starbreaker's shield like a mountain fired from God's fist. The alien barrier folded inward, bright and screaming, but held. The second round followed before the shield could breathe. The third shattered its center. Then every human weapon in the system fired. From the moon, rail cannons carved white lines through space. From Earth's oceans, missile swarms rose through clouds in burning pillars. From hidden stations around Saturn, old freighters opened their cargo bays and released kinetic mines that had waited for years in absolute darkness. The Veirathi formation collapsed into chaos. Captain Voss ordered ramming speed. The bridge went silent. No one cheered. No one questioned. They all understood the cost. The Havoc's engines screamed beyond every safe limit, pushing the wounded battleship through debris, fire, and shattered alien hulls. Admiral Shavrin watched humans in damaged armor keep working while sparks rained around them. He watched a species with no shield stand against a weapon meant to erase worlds. The Starbreaker tried to retreat. The Havoc struck its exposed core at 3 miles per second. For one, impossible. Second, there was no sound, no light, no movement. Then the planet killer split open from bow to stern, and a white sun bloomed where the Empire's greatest weapon had been. Across the system, every alien ship stopped firing. Admiral Shavrin survived in an escape pod with half his face burned, and his empire dying around him. He watched Earth rise beyond the wreckage, blue and wounded, but still there. Around it floated the broken remains of fleets that had once made civilizations kneel. The Havoc was gone. No grand statue moved through the smoke. No victorious broadcast filled the void. Only debris, emergency beacons, and the names of human dead repeating through rescue channels. Yet the Veirathi survivors did not feel victory. They felt something colder. They felt the first lesson every empire eventually learns too late. Humans did not become dangerous because they loved war. They became dangerous because they loved something more than survival. Years later, Shavrin would stand before the Galactic Assembly and speak with a voice that still trembled when he said Earth's name. He told them humans were not the strongest species, not the fastest, not the oldest, and not the most advanced. Then he showed them the final image recorded by his burning flagship, a crippled human battleship pushing into a planet killer's beam, refusing to turn away from home. The chamber stayed silent for a long time. Then Shavrin gave the only warning that mattered. Do not threaten what humans love, because they will turn themselves into the weapon you deserve.